Welcome back, everybody, to the show. I am your host, as always, Jay Villain, aka That Villain Jay. And tonight we have a very special treat for you because I am here with my co-host, as always, the co-host extraordinaire, number 2 mythic ranked in the world right now, the numbest of skulls, Numb Skull. There he is, ladies and gentlemen, with me as
What's
always. Up? So you just told me that you hit number 2 mythic ranked in them. That's really exciting to hear.
I wish I did, man.
What? Okay, so what are you at? Let's hear it.
I think I was when I was waiting for you to start the podcast. It was I was right at 1200.
Right at 12. Okay, all right. Well, that's close. I mean, if you were in percent,
I gotta play a little bit tonight.
Yeah, well, if you were in percentage, I would have quit the. I just ended it right here.
Yeah, I know. It would have been disgraceful.
Yeah, I realize I just hit Diamond 4. I was in Plat Hell for a while. I was just playing with stuff. I wasn't even really trying. And I finally just took my Rakdost brutalizer and just bullied people into Diamond. As I said, I'm not ending in Plat. Maybe I got 6 days to run to Mythic. I've done it in 2.
Mm-hmm.
I can monitor.
Yeah, now that you're in Diamond, you could probably do it.
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
I mean?
Starting tonight.
Flat prison.
I might run. I was thinking about that. I might run Bang Bust tonight. I might run your Bang Bust version.
Oh, okay.
I've been playing a little Alchemy.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go on your AetherHub and steal whatever current iteration of Bang Bust you have out. Where can I find it?
Yeah, well, probably my Untapped.
Okay, Untapped. Gotcha.
Yeah, the Untapped is going to have like the most up-to-date one because I don't update it every time on AetherHub.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I probably haven't put one. I haven't put a deck on AetherHub since Mom came out. Honestly.
Okay.
I need to get better at that, but so many people just they just like save my Untapped link. Well, not so many people, but people who pay, who keep up with it, they just save my Untapped link and, just okay. What was Numbskull playing today, or you know what I mean? What was what's he been doing lately? What's been working for him?
Yeah.
Because you can see the win rates, so it's like it's a little more proven rather than AetherHub. Like I could put a bad deck on there and you would have no idea if it's good or bad. Whereas Untapped, it's like, hey, this deck that Numbskull made sucks. Or hey, this deck of Numbskull made is fucking 70%,
Mm-hmm.
So it varies a little bit. I honestly prefer to use Untapped, but obviously AetherHub is a great thing for just like publishing stuff. You know what I mean? So both tools are good.
I really got to get back on Untapped too. I don't really use as much as I could, and I have people. Uploading my decks onto, because I'll see it on tap, it'll be like Jay Villain's Mono Red, and I'm like, oh, that's no, that's not good.
It'll pull it. It'll pull it just from what they play. So that means that someone copied your deck and played it.
Yeah,
and Untap picked up the game data from it and just auto populates.
Yeah.
So I mean, at least they put your name on it.
yeah, that's what I see. I see a few of them with my name on it, so I really got to get in there and do it.
That's good. Yeah. Untapped, if you're watching, feel free to sponsor this. I know you retweet me sometimes on Twitter, so feel free to sponsor this.
Absolutely.
Retweet these awesome decks that we're talking about.
We'd love to show you that. Also, Card Kingdom, they're pretty cool. They're cool people.
Card Kingdom's pretty cool.
Yeah. So, Gray Knight.
And what is it? MTG Arena or MTGA Zone?
Yeah, they're great too.
Awesome.
We love them.
They
awesome.
retweet me sometimes too. So
yeah,
you know what I mean. Yeah, definitely. If you want to have some featured content on the podcast, let us know. We got you, man.
Card Kingdom. They're cool. Anyways, now that shilling is done. What are we doing tonight? We had a very controversial topic. We had a hot topic. Let's brush off. Well, first, all right, I'm getting ahead of myself. First, let's thank our patrons for being here tonight.
Yes.
We want to thank our patrons. This Black Council is supported 100% by you. It is a roundtable podcast, and the reason we're doing this, the council actually requested this.
Council spoken.
The council spoke. The members of the council said, we want to see something about dragons. They were talking about, we want to do a lore video. They said it was, a worthy idea. We could listen about dragons. We want to hear what about them. How do they work? What's the deal with Magic the Gathering dragons? That's what they said. So we were chatting in our private Discord, the Black Council Discord, which you can get a part of for only as little as $1 a month, $1 an episode, whatever you want to give. If you join our Patreon, patreon.com/the Black Council, you can find that link right down there. You become a member too, and you can say, hey, I want to hear about angels next. I want to hear about goblins next. I want to hear about any, what's up with, why is Zendikar all just floating islands? What's up with that? Well, I want to do we could do that, a whole Plains episode. Let's just hear about Innistrad for a whole episode. We like to do these lore ones a little while. We've done Phyrexian lore. We've done Praetor's lore. There's not too much news. That's what we thought would be a good breath of fresh air. A lot of standard news came out recently about the rotation, about changes. We have the bans list coming up like next week, and we said, well, we're not just going to sit here. We already made our ban predictions. We're not just kind of going to sit here and twiddle our thumbs. Let's take a break and talk about some of the more Vorthos side of Magic the Gathering with the help of our lovely patrons who basically said that's what they want to hear. So who are these noble patrons of the Black Council?
We'll start it off. Also, we have a new one. Frank,
welcome,
Frank E. Thank you, Frank, for joining. We appreciate it very much.
He's
then we have. Go ahead.
He's receiving his ceremonial black robe and hood.
Yeah, I like that. We have Mother of Steel, W. Taylor, Set You On Anon, The Clash, Elvan Breens, Xylo, Jamel, STUMFA, T-Rex, Lord Gypticus, Lemulian, Cassius, Nickel Nuts, H-Man, Ulfir, Dante Valentine, Clever, Bloodchief, and of course Paradabo.
Paradabo, not just one, but a whole Paradabos.
Or a whole pair. And we have, a couple of these guys here. Who is that? Paradabo, Bloodchief, Clever have been with us since August of last year now.
Oh my goodness. We're coming up on
we're at like 9 months. So in August, I don't know. I guess Paradabo was subscribed from the first episode, and so was Bloodchief.
A number of pillar supporter. We call those the Obsidian Pillars. Yeah,
so I actually, I don't know. It might have been like the second episode, but I mean, mid-August is going to be pretty much like the year anniversary here. So
we launched
we'll
episode
have to figure something
1
out for the anniversary episode too.
We'll have to do a big spectacular. We launched episode 0 that our intent was to create a podcast, and then we launched it with episode 1. I remember I was on vacation. I was actually at a Airbnb by the ocean when we did our first episode.
I remember
0.
that.
Yeah.
I remember that. The audio was like not quite as good.
Not great.
We just made it work.
We made it work. So very exciting. We'll do something exciting and fun. We've grown quite a bit since then, and we're going to be talking about today. Like I said, the patrons requested something. They wanted to hear about dragons. They're gonna hear about dragons.
Yes, sir.
So I think the original, I want to give a special shout out to Dante Valentine, who originally requested this back in April, and we had a couple of people basically chime in and say yes, that's what we want. So
it was seconded and thirded
and thirded, and so it was sealed, and we said so let it be done,
and it will be done.
So we're getting into it. So dragons. Webster's dictionary defines it. No, I'm not going to do that. No, you guys know what a dragon is, right? A dragon is a giant fire-breathing monster. Okay, a winged monster of ancient legend, of ancient lore. It flies. Yes, these are very distinct things. And I want to tell you something that you may have never noticed about Magic the Gathering monsters. A dragon, a wyvern, and a drake are all different things. For example, a drake does not have its 2 front legs. A dragon does. So if you ever look at, that's one of the art things on Magic, like for example, like how angels are always female. If you ever look at the art, if something says Drake on it, it will not have its two front legs. It might be, in all intents and purposes, look exactly like a dragon, but it will not have its two front legs. A dragon has 4 legs, wings, tail, a head, usually breathes fire. Pretty sure they're always flying. I think they have to have flying. But that is what a dragon is. And you'll see stuff that is wyverns. You'll also see things that are worms, spelled W-Y-R-M, which is basically a dragon who's just a no wings, no arms, is just a giant snake monster. So
that makes you want to watch Dune.
Exactly. They have like a dragon head, and sometimes they can talk, but they're weird.
A dragon's like body too, like just like the
like a scaly body. Yeah. So obviously dragons loom very large in basically every single history of every type of people in the world, which is weird. We don't know why. There's, what do they call it? The dragon paradox. You see dragons in Far East Asia, in Japan, in China. You see them obviously in Europe. You also see them in Mesoamerica, where we have Quetzalcoatl, the feathered serpent, which is a giant winged and feathered serpent. You have in Norse mythology too. Yeah, you have Jormungandr, yes, or Nidhogg, the great world serpent who will devour the whole world and crack it apart. So every mythology for some reason just says like, yeah, there's giant reptiles. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad, but they're humongous and they're powerful. And there's an emphasis on power here. I would hazard to say there is not a weak dragon out there. In game and in mythology, it's very rare that you're going to see a dragon who is just a weak, pathetic character. Generally very noble, very regal, and very powerful. And about these great world serpents, about these great killers, you have in mythologies, you have great dragons of the sea. In Japanese mythology, there's the great dragons of the West Sea or the West Winds or something like that. Quetzalcoatl was obviously a great deity, of probably the main deity of the Mesoamericans. You have Saint George and the dragons, where it was taking a sinister aspect. The Satan, Lucifer, was considered a great dragon. I think he's referred to as such, a great red dragon with 7 heads. Or serpent. Yeah, or a great serpent. So we have these mythologies, we have these fables. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're bad. Obviously, we're playing a fantasy type base game. They get in there, and they're very big and they're very powerful. And I want to start with something, a little bit of lore that people might not know. Way back in the day, in 2004, no, I have to change my whole way of thinking. 1994. Okay.
Oh, okay.
They released something called the 5 Original Dragons of Elder Legend. They released a lot of dragon card decks. They were the Elder Dragons. This is where you get such characters as Nicol Bolas. Who's some of the other ones? I know that name is everyone knows. Anyways, these were the Elder Dragons. And they were very, very powerful. Vivictus, Asmodee, Palladia, Moors, Arcadus, Sabath, Chromium Rule. Chromium is still around, by the way, too. So, interestingly enough, these very powerful and very expensive cards, the cards themselves are expensive and they're hard to cast as well. They have a very high casting cost. A guy said to himself, what's his actual name? I know it's Adam Staley. He said to himself, I'd like to use these cards more. It's very hard to get them on the board. They're expensive. I think Chromium is like 2 of every color or something like that. Or it's really, really expensive. 1 of every color and then 1. They're all like 8 or 9 or 7 mana, and they were very, very hard to get on the board. So they came up with a format where it said, all right, well, I'm going to embody a dragon. I'm going to say that this is his deck, what he would play with, and I'll make him like the head of it. And he said to himself, I'll make him my commander. Oh, now we know what that word does. So the whole spawn of commander, also known as EDH or CEDH, competitive EDH, is spawned because of Magic the Gathering's dragons. We owe that entire side of the game, the entire concept of commander and EDH, to the fact that people wanted to embody the colors of these dragons, because these are the dragons represented 3 colors. And he said, so I'm going to take Nicol Bolas, or I'm going to take whoever. I'm going to make a Grixis deck, black, red, and blue, and I'm going to only limit myself to those spells, and I'm going to do it that way. And from there, the other judges got along, and we started EDH. All the rest is history. Standard is being choked to death as a consequence of Magic printing 5 Elder Dragons in 1994 because it accidentally spawned a guy saying to himself, I want to play with these cool dragons more. And everyone's saying, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. Let's build a whole format around them. It's called it Elder Dragon Highlander. That's what EDH stands for. Elder Dragon Highlander. So the D in EDH is dragon. And now we have a 3-year cycle because that happened 29 years ago. So we have a 3-year standard cycle. So you can thank the Elder Dragon series for our 3-year standard cycle, because we need to currently revive. Can you give me some air quotes? Numbskull, can you put some air quotes in the air for me? Revive. There we go. Standard right now, because it's so dead as of right now. So interesting history of dragons in both Magic the Gathering and in Magic, the mythology of the world, and the mythology of Magic the Gathering, and the mythology of real life playing, how dragons have actually had such a impact on the game formats themselves, interestingly enough.
It is kind of cool too, because it's always feels like I don't know, like, I mean, I just think of like Game of Thrones, like, you know, whenever they have like the dragons and they fight each other, you can't really like fight someone with a dragon unless you have a dragon.
Exactly.
So it's almost like, you know, a dragon fight is like its own kind of fight. So it's like fitting that, you know, the format with the word dragon in it is basically like in a league of its own, so to speak. You know what I mean? Much like dragons themselves are. So I think it's very, very fitting. And I didn't know that until you said that. So that's pretty noteworthy. And yeah. It's it also like I think it also makes sense that it like developed into its own thing based on that. It's very consistent with just dragons in general. You know what I mean? Like dragons are like, they're gonna be there whether you like it or not. And they're gonna do their own thing, and and you have to pay attention to them. You have to account for them, whether you want to or not. Kind of like Commander, like you have to like really still be aware of it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
For the most part, I mean, and you know, they're fun Commander decks. So yeah, I think that's pretty cool. That's kind of like, you know, you have your own kind of league of Magic that's, in a sense, like inspired by dragons, you know?
Absolutely you do. Yeah. And if you want to be pure to the format of pure EDH, you've got to choose a dragon as your commander. That's how you be OG.
Well, I don't really know what I would do. I might choose like a Nicol Bolas, something.
He's very popular. Yeah.
Yeah. I think a Grixis would be pretty legit. I know that there's some crazy Grixis Nicol Bolas commanders, and they're expensive. A lot of them are expensive too. A lot of them pertain to getting a bunch of other planeswalkers out that cost a lot of money.
Oh yeah, there's expensive cards. I mean, not only casting costs. All the original Elder Dragons are 2 of each of their respective color and 2, so they're all 8. You know, so. I actually really like Velomachus as a commander, to be honest. I built one around her for a while.
Velomachus is a beast.
Yeah. I didn't know Velomachus was a girl. Velomachus is female. Isn't that crazy?
That's noteworthy.
Yeah. It's hard to tell. Dragons don't have any secondary sex characteristics. So they just are. There's no like, you know, they're reptiles, so it doesn't have any boobs or anything, so you can't really tell.
Do they have to like procreate, or like do the women just lay eggs naturally?
I don't think they've gone into I mean, reptiles, they're not like fish where just the male fish has to just pass over the eggs. I'm pretty sure that they get fertilized like in the body, and then they have to lay them. And they have to keep them extremely hot. That's what you'll always see with dragon egg. That's why things like smoldering egg or whatever it is, the one that we have right now in standard, the more spells you play, the hotter it gets, the more it's going to crack open. So
sure, okay, yeah.
That's kind of what it's imitating. That's always been a thing in Magic where, you know, you've got to put heat counters, you've got to keep it, you know, burning, or you've got to pay an upkeep. They've got to constantly stoke fires under dragon eggs. They got to stay real hot to get more. And they're so long-lived that obviously you only have 1 or 2 kids. They're very protective of them. You know, it's something that's going to live 1,000 years, probably has a very long childhood. So it's hard to make more of them.
They never want to. They never want to waste a dragon egg, you know?
No, yeah, it's very, and also if you like steal a dragon egg or crack it open, the mom is gonna mess you up pretty good. So you gotta deal with the mom. Generally, you only see like brood mother. The dads usually leave, so they're kind of like that aspect, at least in the lore I've seen, where they're just like, no, I don't. Just it's your problem now. You know, you got to take the kids. They'll give them some treasure that they can build a nest on or whatever, but they don't really hang around. But yeah, it's very interesting, and it's the older they get, the more powerful they get. That's why we get elder dragons, who are the legends. They get old, they get more powerful, they get knowledge. I think dragons in lore are functionally immortal, meaning that they will not die unless something kills them.
I see. Okay,
so
sure.
They'll just keep getting older and bigger and older and bigger and older and bigger. For example, Ugin and Bolas are thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years old. Way beyond a human lifetime of age. You know, they've lived through all kind of stuff. So they've been around since, you know, the first Phyrexian invasion or something like that. They've been around forever. And Ugin, sorry, were you gonna say something?
I was just gonna say that I googled it, and it says that dragons can produce asexually.
Really? That's fascinating.
Yeah. So some of these dragons are independent women who don't need no man.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Or an independent man who don't need no woman. Either way.
Well, they said that if it lays eggs, that you assume it's a woman, and if it doesn't lay, if it never lays,
never
eggs,
seen it lays,
you just assume it's a man. That's how they kind of gender dragons, which means Villainy has some children out there.
Obviously, yeah. If we know that it's
that it's a woman, you know.
Yeah,
I'd say that's noteworthy. Yeah, it's and that's another thing you can, since they live so long, you can kind of take that story forever. You know, like, oh, well, this dragon's 3,000 years old. It died, but, you know, hey, last year it laid some eggs, so we can just keep the story going. You know
exactly.
What I mean? Like, it never has to end. I don't want to go like the game, like bring up Game of Thrones too much, but Game of Thrones, like, that's why I feel like they literally have endless content with that show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it's just like, if you make it about dragons, it doesn't have to stop.
Exactly. It's just so extensive because they're hard to, you know, they're hard to kill, and they're just so powerful. So we got to talk about, in Magic the Gathering, the lore of Magic the Gathering is the Dragon birthed all. The Dragon, progenitor of fire, is the avatar of all dragons. At the dawn of time, its primordial essence was all dragons in the entire multiverse. When in the blind eternities, it represented every dragon, and when the universe came into being, all the multiverses started forming. The cosmology of magic is real weird like that. Anyways, it birthed dragons out of its essence. So essentially everything there was an essence of demons, there was an essence of fire, there was an essence of whatever. This was the essence of dragons, and it birthed dragons. Every dragon was a single dragon that got born, except for Nicol Bolas and Ugin, who were birthed from the same egg. So they're the twins. And they'll appeal a lot in the story. Nicol Bolas has been a magic adversary for longer than the Phyrexians. And he's an interesting guy. And he's kind of an asshole, so that's funny too. So that's how that's how dragons came into being. And they obviously, Ugin and Nicol Bolas have had a very, very close bond, and that has affected the magic story for a long time. That has gone in, back and forth with a lot of things. That affected Tarkir, the Plane of Dragons. It obviously affected the War of the Spark. A lot of major stuff has happened with that. There was including a thing on Dominaria that happened called the Elder Dragon War, which you may or may not know from the card in Historic. In Standard right now.
Yeah. So Ugin and Nicol Bolas were the first two to kind of like dragons to interact with one another then?
No, dragons all kind of spawned on the primordial Dominaria simultaneously, but they were born together and kind of were, had a bond together early on. So I think they were really the first to kind of start interacting with, humanity and the people of, the other dragons and Star and something like that. Nicol Bolas, when they started interacting with like other creatures, some of the dragons tried to get hurt and attacked, and people were scared of them. Nicol tried to attack people and defend. Ugin wanted to study more and learn. And Nicol Bolas wanted to not die and not become prey like some of the other dragons were. And Nicol Bolas desired to know about the multiverse and understand the other creatures in it, which obviously led them down two different paths. One of study, learning, of contemplation, almost a monastic lifestyle, and the other one saying, I want to be powerful and never be dead, and never be a prey. I want to be the master. So. Okay.
So one of them took like they kind of embody both sides of being a dragon. One is the like brute, and then one is the, like he knows he's the most powerful and he doesn't have to, have to do extra stuff to prove it. Doesn't feel like he has to, be any kind of extra way about it, because he knows he's more powerful than everything else.
Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, so two kind of aspects: the savage aspect and the noble aspect, kind of related in this dynamic that they had here.
Yeah, I like that. That's cool.
So from there, we have a lot of histories of dragons. I could do 5 episodes about the Dragon Wars, about the cons of Tarkir. Tarkir obviously was a big inflection point. Basically, the Cliffs Notes version is there was a plane called Tarkir. There used to be great dragons on it. Ugin was part of it. Ugin was part of that. He got killed. All the other dragons got killed, and the cons took over. Which were basically just like Dragon Mongolia, if you're wondering what that is. That's what Tarkir is. If you think of Mongolia, think of maybe Mongolia and China and the steppes. Yeah. And add dragons in there. That's what it was.
I like that.
Yeah.
Mongolia.
Dragons there are born out of dragon storms from Ugin's elemental storms. They just kind of are crapped out of the sky, which is funny.
That's different.
Yeah, it's a little different. So, yeah, in the original timeline, dragons were extinct. Sark and Vol became fascinated with them. They had been hunted to extinction. They were too dangerous. The old joke goes that there's only 2 kinds of fantasy stories. Is a long time ago, dragons roamed the sky, and these noble beasts once were the kings of the world, and now they are gone and lost, and only their cold bones remain. And maybe one day the sage wisdom and power of the dragons will return. That's one fantasy setting. And the other fantasy setting is we got to do something about all these goddamn dragons. So there's basically, there's never really a happy medium. There's just two aspects of, damn, there's just too many. Oh my God, these things ate every cow I own, they ate it. Oh my God. So
the dragons ate my cow. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah,
so
it is really something to think about. Like, isn't it? It's always so crazy how much dragons don't. How do I say it? Like, they're so. I'm trying to think of the right word here. They're so what's the best way to phrase it?
You can't negotiate with them.
Yeah, well, yeah, and they're just they go about their business, and it just it doesn't matter what's in their way. It's just completely irrelevant what might be in their way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I always thought that was really interesting. You know what I mean? So yeah, dragons are really something, man.
Oh yeah, absolutely they are. And it's an interesting aspect, and obviously mechanically they're very powerful in the game. Being such a ferocious beast, it would make sense if they were weak. If you could just cast a lot of them, which makes building a dragon deck a little difficult because it's always a high-end deck. You're always living on the upside. So it's always like, if I build a dragon deck, how do I get these things out faster? How do I get them to be more powerful? How do I not die to aggro by turn 4?
So that was a big thing.
Yeah, exactly. So it's hard to say how you do that. It's sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Well, and it before the previous rotation, it was easier to play dragon decks, and now it's it's kind of difficult. I would say it's like how do we? I don't know. We lost so many good ones, and the new elders kind of weren't as strong as some of the old ones. Well, they're not technically elders, but you know what I mean, though. They're just not quite as strong. So it's like, geez, dude, like how do we go about this?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's just I don't think any of the 5 ones from Kamigawa are as strong as like you were saying, like Villainy and like Goldspan Dragon is obviously a freaking house.
Of course.
So just things like that. It feels like
we did get the Kamigawa ones.
Yeah,
they were pretty decent. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Junji's cool. He made reanimation a thing. Ao's cool because it's it like basically like splits itself in half with giving you permanence, which is pretty sick. Don't get me wrong, but yeah, it is kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But it's also interesting to think about, like, in regards to the story itself. We just kind of don't really have much going on with dragons anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. This what did you say? Sarkin is in here now, but like we don't really. There's not really dragons really aren't doing a lot right now.
No, I mean we saw Tarkir a little bit. There was a decent dragon card in the invasion set, March of the Machine set rather. I always call it the invasion set, but there was actually a block called the invasion block, so I have to mind my words there.
I have to specify, sure.
Yeah, sure. March of the Machine. I'm sorry, this the 3rd Phyrexian invasion or the 5th or whatever, however many times they tried. So yeah, there was some, but we don't have a very dragon focused set. I personally would love to go back to Tarkir. I think you've got so much good stuff there. Tarkir gave us a lot of amazing stuff that I don't think people even realize how much stuff Tarkir gave us. It was a 3-block set, and it just absolutely loaded us down with the choice. I loved it. So Narset and Sark and Vol are from Tarkir. So if you like Narset, she's there. Originally, that's where she had that. There's like monks because it's vaguely it's Asian themed, but it's like I said, like Chinese, Mongolian Asian theme, which I think is a lot of fun because you don't see a lot of stuff done right like that.
That's true.
You don't see like a very Mongolian style horseback riding, raiding clans with tents and yurts and wildlands. Like that's a really cool kind of setting. So,
when did Tarkir come out?
Tarkir came out in 2000 and let's see here. I have it here. 2000. I want to say like 13 or 14. Khans of Tarkir first dropped in 2014. Yeah.
Was that before or after Ravnica?
That was geez, you're really getting me on these, man.
Sorry.
Let's see.
I'm trying to think if it was out when I first started playing, like seriously, when I was like about 10 years ago.
It was probably around the same time.
Okay.
Let me look up the block releases. 2024.
I remember Ravnica and like an Innistrad were like a thing.
Yeah, that's. I feel like that was kind of the Magic Renaissance. That's when I got back into it too. I was out for a while, but yeah. So we had Return to Ravnica in 12. We had the first Innistrad in 11.
Okay. We
had Zendikar in 2019, the first Zendikar. That was after kind of the unpleasantness of. We had Kamigawa, which the original Kamigawa, the original Mirrodin that nobody really liked, Time Spiral, which everyone, we had Lorwyn, and that was not very powerful. Zendikar dropped, then Mirrodin, then Innistrad in 2012, 2011. Then we had Ravnica, then we had Theros, then we had Khans of Tarkir. This is when we were getting 3 block sets a year of all on the same plane.
Oh, okay. I see.
Yeah.
Okay. That's pretty lit.
And Khans of Tarkir, like I said, it gave prowess is from Tarkir, by the way. The keyword prowess.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's from Tarkir.
That's noteworthy.
So yeah, it gave us a lot of stuff. That was the original. That was the quote unquote power of the Jeskai. The other ones didn't do so great. Raid, Delve, Outlast never came in it. Bolster, Rebound, Exploit did come from Slumgar from Tarkir set.
Oh, okay.
So
I remember Exploit.
Yeah, there were some zombie exploits that we came out again, but obviously prowess. Everybody knows prowess. Like, who are you if you don't know prowess?
Oh yeah, no, prowess is very relevant right now. It's definitely a thing.
Yeah, there's prowess decks that will absolutely mess you up. For example, Monastery Swiftspear is a Tarkir card. It's reprinted.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember everybody was like excited about that.
Yeah. And if you don't know what Monastery Swiftspear is, you haven't played ever a game of Standard in your whole life.
Yeah.
Not one time have you ever once played a game of Standard. Or ever played a red deck currently in the past year. So, yeah, you should absolutely know what Monastery Swiftspear. I'm not even going to tell you what it is. It just is. So yeah, that's what we have, and that gave us a lot. And obviously, that was from the Tarkir block, which is dragon based. Another thing I want to bring up that I don't think people realize, if we're talking about blocks, if we're talking about colors, and the effect that dragons have on the game, our good friend Izzet over at Blue and Red. We all know what Izzet is. We also know what Izzet Prowess is. That's a popular deck build. Izzet is named after a dragon. You may know him as Niv Mizzet.
Ah, yes. Yes. I do know Niv Mizzet.
Niv Mizzet. That is why it is named that. That is that's what he does. They took the last part of his name is Niv-M, and then they dropped that and they just took Izzet.
That's noteworthy. I always thought like, he has Izzet in the name. I just never knew if you know what I mean.
He is, I think, one of the few surviving leaders, original progenitors of one of the guilds on Ravnica. The other one being Rakdost. Rakdost is an actual demon, and he's still around.
Yeah, I do remember learning that the one day.
Yeah, so those are like the guild masters. Not all of them are around, but Mizzet is currently the guild pact. He's all colors. He's everything, and not also the other ones don't really have. There was Azor the First, but he's dead. You know, he's gone. Okay. Is he still around? No, yeah, he is remembered as Azor the First. I think he's dead. No, he's still around. Azor the First is still around. Boros Legion, there's no Boros anymore. There's no Mr. Demir anymore or anything like that. There's no Gruul. You have Borborigmos who's around. Orzhov, there's no Orzhov. There's no Mr. Orzhov. But actual Rakdost is around. Azor is around. And obviously Niv Mizzet is around. And he was the founder of Izzet. So again, we see the prowess, Izzet, EDH. We see the effect dragons have had on this game in the terminology, in the deck builds, in the language that we speak about the game in. They've had such an interesting impact.
All right, so how about this, Jay? Who's your favorite dragon?
Who is my favorite dragon? Legendary or non-legendary?
Let's start with non-legendary, and then I'm going to ask you the other.
So, I love and hate non-legendary. Goldspan was an amazing dragon. Also, I hated it because it just generated. It was too powerful. That card was really fucking broken. Like, it just shat out gold. Like, no matter what. That card's
ridiculous.
Yeah. I also loved. What's that guy's name? Oh man, they used to always make fun of me for him because I think he's so cool. I can't remember.
Dragon?
Yeah, it was a dragon. It's a legendary guy, and he couldn't attack until you had a ton of treasure.
Oh, that sounds familiar.
Yeah. Oh god, what's his name? Gadrick, the Crown Scourge.
That one. Okay, yeah.
Gadrick, the Crown Scourge. Just because he had an awesome name, calling himself the Crown Scourge, he was a 5/4 that dropped for. He was a 5/4 flying that dropped for 1 red and 2. He couldn't attack unless you controlled 4 or more artifacts. And at the beginning,
I remember this now.
Yeah, and at the beginning of your end step, create a treasure token for each non-token creature that died this turn. That is an awesome guy. I really like that guy. I really like Velomachus. She's great.
Yeah. Velomachus is lit.
Yeah, but Gadrick, they always made fun of me because I put Gadrick in my deck, and they're like, all my viewers were like, he's shit, he's terrible, why do you even put him in there? I'm like, he's a 5/4 flying blocker on turn 3. I don't care that he has defender, as functionally has a defender, but come on, like, you know. But everyone made fun of me for liking him, so he's probably gonna have to be my favorite because goddamn, when you get the name the Crown Scourge, how many kings have you eaten at that point? It wasn't just one.
That's a fair point.
That you killed that many kings that they call you. Yeah, oh, that guy, he's a Crown Scourge. He's about his business. So
that guy, total Crown Scourge, man.
Yeah, exactly. I think it's got to even be more than 2. It's got to be 3 at that point where you're like, okay, well, this is a problem. He's killed 3 kings at this point. That's a scourge right there. So we can't even keep a king.
He scourged him.
A guy coming out of Burger King with a paper crown on, he snapped him up. Yeah, he doesn't let it. He ain't even about it. So,
you know, the one I remember. No, I guess it wasn't a dragon though. I liked the No, that was a god card. I'm trying to think of dragons that I remember like that were really old, like 2014. I don't know if there were that many prevalent dragons at that point. Like that were that crazy. Remember when I first turned on Arena? Glorybringer? Well, yeah, that's
a really good one.
Well, Glorybringer is like an OG style of card, you know. Yeah, that one's sick. There's also well, I just think of when I first came to Arena, you know, all the Strixhaven dragons, I thought those were pretty sweet. They weren't all good, but I thought they were thought they were cool nonetheless.
Yeah, those were not bad. It was interesting that each house was functionally led by a dragon.
Yeah, that was cool. I thought that was like a good way to represent everything. You know what I mean?
It'd be pretty cool if you went to school and they're like, "Here's your professor. He's a dragon."
Yeah, that'd be something else, man.
You get your homework done.
Yeah, you would.
You get your
homework and you would behave. You would behave in class.
Yeah, you wouldn't be throwing paper airplanes.
No, they would get burnt out of the sky. Yeah, okay, so you said the one guy is your favorite non-legendary. Who's your favorite legendary then?
Oh, Gadrick.
Oh, Gadrick's a legendary.
Gadrick's legendary, yeah. Non-legendary is probably between Glorybringer and the other one that I really liked. Goldspan is just amazingly powerful. I like Glorybringer just because of the effect that it had. And I like how all of the dragons in Glorybringer was from Amonkhet, and all the dragons in Amonkhet look like they have crocodile heads, so that's kind of funny.
Oh, that's different. Okay, I like that.
Yeah.
What
about you?
Yeah, as a legendary, I like. What do I like? I like for legendary. I think Junji's just got to be my guy.
Oh well, I knew you were gonna pick a black one. So
Junji is he's just so cool, man.
Yeah,
I love Junji. I really did like Velomachus a lot though.
Yeah,
Velomachus, especially like, how do I say it? With the whole like
resurrecting ability.
Well, yeah, the free casting, and that also like Velomachus really kind of like helped me get into my like competitive portion of MTG with like, all the brokenness, you know what I mean, within. And that was kind of when I first like really started to like really go hard at Magic was like that Velomachus deck. That was like when I really knew that like I could like have a like a good deck and like kind of do well each season. So that was definitely noteworthy for me. Was the Velomachus for sure. I think I just owe him the respect, honestly. But yeah, Velomachus. Well, I guess him and Junji are both legendary, aren't they? So yeah. I probably got to pick something else. But non-legendary.
Do you even play any non-legendary dragons? Manaform Hellkite's not bad. The one that generates spells.
Yeah. I remember you and I used to do some shenanigans with that one. Moonveil Regent was cool too.
Moonveil Regent is good. I forgot about that.
Moonveil Regent used to let you, if you played the right kind of deck, you used to like let you draw a ton of cards. So that was pretty sick. You know what I mean? If you played Jund and you played some of those new cards that came out with Jund, actually you can still play Moonveil Regent, can't you? Yeah, it's just, I don't know, I guess it's kind of fallen off a little bit, but I feel like I randomly see it in sideboards sometimes.
It is always a good backup card.
Yeah. So yeah, Moonveil Regent, but yeah, Manaform Hellkite was sweet. Definitely a really fun card. I'm trying to think of we're missing. Obviously, Goldspan was ridiculous. There's some cool ones in Alchemy, but they're not like too crazy.
Yeah.
I really liked Town Razor Tyrant like initially when he first came out before they nerfed him. And you just like hit any land.
Yeah. Town Razor was awful. Have you tried Hoarding Broodlord yet? He just popped 2 and he's black.
Hoarding Broodlord. Oh, yeah, that newer one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
he's not bad. There is a somewhat competitive Alchemy deck that I faced a little bit this season, and it was it uses the Broodlord, and then it uses that new battle it's like if you reveal, because the Broodlord I think like helps put dragons in your hand, and then the battle is like reveal all these dragons and do all this damage.
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so the Broodlord like fills your hand with dragons, and then you play the battle, and you got like 5 dragons in your hand.
Yeah.
And for like 2 mana, you do like 12 damage.
Oh, I know who you probably like. You're forgetting Ziatora.
Oh yeah, Ziatora is she still the yeah Ziatora right now as we speak. I meant to change her, but literally the background on my phone. Literally the background of my phone.
Oh yeah,
nothing
okay.
Is more fun. Nothing's more fun than flinging something at
throwing an 8/8 at some.
Yeah, and then getting paid to do it with 3 treasures.
Yeah, she's amazing.
I will say on my other phone, like my business phone, I do have Junji as the background there, so it's not like
okay. So really even the dragon fever has swept you then.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think dragons are great. Like I said, I love Game of Thrones. Dragon stuff is really, really cool to me. Absolutely. Yeah, but I will say, we were talking about, I just feel like we don't play as in like standard and alchemy. Just dragons aren't as much of a thing. I kind of wish they were. I kind of wish there was like a crazy dragon. I know there was what is that? Is that Hellraiser? Is that considered a dragon?
Yeah. Hellkite or Hellraiser?
The Hellraiser, that new one that lets you cast a card for free from the graveyard. Capricious Hellraiser.
I don't think so.
Not a dragon? Okay.
Capricious Hellraiser. Oh yeah, it is a dragon. Yeah.
It is? Okay.
Yeah. That's a new one.
There's that, and that did see some play.
Yeah, I made a deck with that one. Yeah.
Yeah, that that card is rather. It's a Phyrexian dragon at that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's noteworthy. So yeah, it'd be cool to maybe see some more dragons. Who knows? Maybe that's like something that could survive a war. So maybe that's what you go to after.
I would love to, like I said, I'd love to see Tarkir come back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
maybe that's, you have to like, as you like kind of rebuild everything, maybe that's like where you have to go eventually.
Yeah, I think that I know we're going back to Eldraine, and we're going back to Ixalan. Mm-hmm. After that, it's kind of a question mark. We're gonna have to wait for the reveal show. I'd love to do back another a Tarkir again. I don't think we're gonna see Innistrad for a while because it's still in standard. Probably not till after rotation we'll ever see another Innistrad. They might feel like they've tapped that well good. So
yeah, I think they did, and they also like power crept so hard that like a lot of the Innistrad cards aren't crazy powerful anymore, and you banned the one that was powerful. So
yeah.
So I don't know. Now it's just kind of like, all right, well, those cards are. I mean, other than like Graveyard Trespasser, I mean, I'm probably just talking about black cards, but other than like Graveyard Trespasser, and I don't even know what else from that is relevant. Oh well, I play Path of Peril, but not a lot of people play that card.
Yeah.
Infernal Grasp still a removal staple. I'll say that. Graveyard Trespasser, obviously, crazy card.
Yeah.
But yeah, it feels like there's not too many cards from Innistrad that are still relevant. So yeah, I mean, maybe we can get some dragons going, man. I don't
know. You know what else is a dragon that you like? Probably Dragon Engine. Phyrexian Dragon Engine.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, I do like the Dragon Engine because who doesn't love melding?
Yeah. Also, Makfawa. Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa.
He turns into a dragon when he flips.
Well, no, the other Urza, the other, not the one touched by Phyrexia, the Mishra, Tamer of Makfawa.
Oh, okay.
The one that has everything is ward.
Yes. Oh, there's a dragon in the back of that.
That's who Makfawa is. He's a dragon engine from Phyrexia.
Oh.
Yeah.
But the Phyrexian Dragon Engine card, is that Makfawa? Or...
Yeah, that's what it is, yeah.
Okay.
Its name was Makfawa.
surprised they just didn't call it Makfawa. That sounds way cooler.
Well, I think that it didn't get a name till later, and he fused with it. He ended up obviously attached to a dragon engine, which again, dragons figure in majorly to, you know, the lore.
I guess for the purpose of melding, using something that's referred to as an engine, plays nice with that. So okay, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but yeah, Makfawa is such a cool word, man. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, and he had the ward permanent. Everything has ward, sacrifice a creature.
I forgot about that card. I used to actually, when he came out, I really tried to make a lot of decks centered.
I know. I think he was on your top 5.
Yeah, I think he was too. I mean, I think both of the Mishra cards are sick, and maybe we still have a way to make them work. But I guess even in just the 2 sets, doesn't it feel like for 5 mana, there's just a lot more.
There's a lot more bangers for 5 mana. Yeah.
Yeah, like you'd still rather cast an Invoke over a Mishra Tamer of Makfawa.
Of course.
I think that's what priced me out of it, was just even if I'm playing Rakdos, I'd still rather cast an Invoke on turn 5 than the Tamer of Makfawa. Turn 4, claimed by Gix, I'd still rather cast Sholdred. So it's like it's just
it got outvalued. Yeah,
bad timing, outvalued. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it has a place, but and they're fun cards. They're very fun cards. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but are they hyper competitive?
Not like Sholdred, sadly. No.
Yeah, unfortunately, yeah.
Not like Sholdred, not like Invoke, not like whatever else you want to do on turn 5. You know, maybe not even better than Junji. Maybe not even better than just like a straight board wipe if you're doing that, you know.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's crazy, but yeah, I guess dragons are always kind of maybe represented in some way.
Oh,
but it would be cool if we had like a legit dragon deck we could do again.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, maybe now that we're gonna have so many cards in standard, it'll be
expandable. I think Rakdos Dragons is probably feasible. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe we can build one. You know what? Why don't we build one for the council?
Should we try?
Post it on the.
Should we try it? Okay.
We can build one, and then we can do that as our final project. See, is it viable to build one in standard mechanically?
Okay. Sweet. All right. Am I sharing my screen?
Yeah, share yours.
Okay. That needs to go away. Window, MTG, share.
I'll pull up mine and see. I feel like Rakdos is the right move here.
Yeah, I think Rakdos is good. All right, so we're going to do standard. We're going to do this. So we probably play Atsushi. Let's just do that.
You want Atsushi? You want Atsushi? You want...
I don't know if we play Junji, actually, because he's all about the non-dragons, you know?
Yeah. Now, we could do...
oh, look, Hidetsugu is a dragon.
Hidetsugu's in there. Yeah, he's blue, but he's in there.
That's hilarious. There's our Moonveil Regent. Very fun.
We also have Shivan Devastator.
Yeah, we could run some Shivans.
Right.
Oh yeah, and this was the one.
Tarkir,
yeah. So this is a really fun battle we could add, and then we could do that, and then that one's weak.
We doing standard or alchemy?
Let's do standard. Let's see if we can make it work in standard. You know.
Okay.
Not a lot of options here. I typed the word dragon and it's like, you know, I can't scroll very much.
Look,
I don't know about the egg.
Look, hold on 1 second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back.
Cool.
Sorry about that. I used the bathroom so fucking bad.
I'm holding this shit myself. It's all good. But yeah, I have it almost. Actually, I have it filled out. Yeah.
All right, hold on. Let me make a cut back.
Sure.
All right. Well, you've seen we've done a little work. Well, I think that Numbskull's done most of the work here. Can you pull it up real quick on this god awful horizontal view you have here? This unbelievably filthy horizontal view where I can't read anything.
You want me to switch it so where it's like you have no idea, you just look at only the one side now?
Yeah, that'd be great.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
That'd be wonderful.
I don't know what to make of it.
You just had to pull. Let's see. What do you have here? Collagen Warmonger. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Tarkir cut down, go for the throat. Riziv of the claw. Shivan Devastator. Oh, I forgot Shivan Devastator. That's he's playing standard right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I have enough? Okay. Yeah, I do. I think I might need. Wait, how did I? Oh, I need to go down on some lands here. What's the name of the new Rakdost land?
Let me pull it up for you. It is called. There's Blackcleave Cliffs, Sulphurous Springs, and Haunted Ridge.
There we go. I needed the cliffs. There we go. Okay.
Yeah.
So now we got our. Usually in a dragon deck, you have. Well, we kept our mana cost a little lower, but I'm running a 25 land here.
Okay.
We have 2 Junji because we can do the discard thing, or we could reanimate Ravaz or the Warmonger.
Okay.
Both can be reanimated this way.
Yeah.
So that's why let's do this.
Treasure's not a bad idea it's on theme too for dragons.
Yeah, let's actually do that. Let's go down 1 lightning strike. We'll keep the Tarkir, and then we'll do Ravaz. Have a couple Elder Dragon Wars. There's your Moon Veil, which I actually.
You want to do instead of Moon Veil, you want to do. Do we have enough spells to do Hellkite?
We could do Mana Form because of 19 non-creature. Let's throw Mana Form in there because we also play Fable. Because we didn't have enough multicolor stuff. There's not as many good multicolor.
No, there isn't
going on. So yeah, here's your dragon deck that we did.
Okay.
Let me burn some wild cards here.
Ooh, 2 uncommon and a mythic rare. You must be hurting.
I'm doing all right. You
must be dying from that.
I'm doing all right. But yeah, this is I don't know. This is and it's probably just for fun. I don't know how competitive it would be, but
let's throw
kind of what's up.
Throw it in an unranked game, and we'll finish off the episode with that.
Okay, that sounds good. Yeah,
with a little bit of dragons in action.
Find a match. Standard play. New deck 203. Let's do it.
Wow. I gotta make. I was just working on a captured Kingpin deck.
You know what's funny about that is I put Ob as the first card in the deck and then decided to just do all vampires and took them out. So the only reason on that deck that Ob is the face of it is because I actually clicked on him first, but he's not actually in the deck. Oddly enough, the Fapton. Oh. This is
the
perfect.
Fapton. Oh wow, he is the captain of. He is the captain of Faps.
The cap of Fap.
Oh wow. Okay.
Playing mono red at that. This is gonna be interesting. I might have to actually hold off on a Siobhan.
Yeah, I don't.
I'm gonna have to hold off.
Okay.
All right, so we're just gonna hold up stuff here. All right. See what they do. Kumano, sure. Ronin. We can kill it with Lightning Strike, but I think I'd rather...
I think the Smelter is probably more dangerous.
Yeah, let's see what they do with that Ronin here. Okay, they didn't kill the Ronin. So we're actually gonna we're gonna take out the smelter right now.
Yeah.
Sticky fingers. What? Okay. That's
whoever
noteworthy.
smelt it dealt it.
Okay, so we can do. So this would be a 2/2 if we played it, or we could just do go for the throat on that or lightning strike. So we could just pass again, and then turn 4 we can drop a big boy.
Yeah, and then we can start throwing down fire.
Okay, yeah, I like it. Maybe they do the reconfigure thing onto. Well, let's see. Let's see what they do here. No reconfiguring. All right, so we're gonna kill this now because we don't want them getting a treasure token. Well, or we could. Well, no, these are both. Yeah, we literally can only kill this. That's right, because they're both artifacts.
Okay. Oof, putting pressure down.
Yeah. So let's get the mana form out, so that way we can cast a lightning strike on their turn and then have a blocker.
Yeah, we didn't get a burn up, huh?
We
didn't get an Elder Dragon War, huh?
No, not yet. That would be sick though. That would
be good.
Literally run them over. Ouch.
He's gonna double tap.
Ouch. Ouch. We go to 2 here. I don't know if we can win this now.
We needed a Dragon War.
We just got fapped.
Yeah, we got the fappening happened.
I can play this as like a 1/1, and then hold up lightning strike and probably still die.
Yeah.
Whoops. Yeah. I think we just fapped a little too close to the sun here.
A little too close for the sun.
We'll do one more since that was.
We'll do one more. Yeah, we'll do one more and try to get a win out here. Dracoseth, that was a really good dragon. You remember that one?
I don't think I ever heard of that. I don't think I ever heard of that one.
Holy shit, he Maul Flames.
No, I don't think I ever heard
whenever he was a 7-drop, 7/7 flying. Whenever he entered the battlefield, 4 damage to any target and 3 damage to 2 other targets.
That's pretty legit.
Yeah, so it could do 4 damage right on directly on a opponent, and then 2 on 2 targets of 3. That was a cool guy.
Okay. I like that.
My cousin, who started playing in Alpha and Beta, had an Alpha Shivan Dragon, and
really
it went away. Yeah, it's probably worth $8,000, and it disappeared.
That's unfortunate, man.
Yeah.
Well, win some, you lose some. All right, how's this gonna work? To any other target. So we could do. Well, we could actually save it because we have 2 dragons, so we could just hold up, go for the throat right now. But like we could do 6 damage next turn to face, which is pretty sweet.
We got to stop him from stacking right now.
Yeah. All right, we're gonna see if they try to. I don't even know. We're gonna see what they try.
I think we got to use an instant kill
on this guy. I think.
On that guy, yeah, he's the most dangerous.
He gets pretty out of hand quick.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Haunted Ridge is good. We could also.
Could we Tarkir someone?
We could Tarkir. We could Tarkir this guy, but it's kind of a waste because we could do 6 total damage just go face with it for 2 mana.
Okay.
Whereas like I could wait for them to like
see who gets the big hit.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like
see who builds up.
Yeah, and then we'll, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Next turn we can make Shivan a 1/1, and then we can play Tarkir, then make Shivan a 1/1. Common damage to a player. Okay. So they're not. Oh, but it has backup. So how's that going to work? Okay, so we just kill that then. Easy. Oh, but then the counters. Okay, so I should have waited. I should have.
Well, he didn't get it yet.
Yeah, well, I mean, Lion Sash gets the counters now, so we should have waited
okay.
until after they swung. Well, I guess either way. No, either way, it wouldn't have worked how we wanted it to. All right, it was coming damage to a player battle. Look at the top. Many cards may reveal a creature or land from among them and put it into your hand. Got it. Okay, so we're probably gonna do.
I'd do it sushi. If the treasure's gonna help.
Sushi here.
Yeah, I think so.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Okay. Now here comes Courage. Yeah, a lot of people have been making Selesnya decks with this card, and it's been.
Oh yeah, Selesnya has been rocking.
They have something else too. I don't know if it's a protection spell or what. Definitely blocking though. So they get to look at the top card. You know, I'd actually rather, I think, take 2 cards off the top. Or do we just want to make treasures and get a huge Siobhan?
We could get a huge Siobhan, but we could also, I mean, we could do the Tarkir and a Siobhan if we had a lot of treasure.
Yeah, I think that's going to be arguably better, because maybe we could get like, maybe we could kill this, you know. I hope that they don't. Yeah, they're reconfiguring. Okay, so. Oh, but Junji's a dragon. Here we go. So. Okay, perfect. 1, 2, submit 2. That should be 6, correct? Wait, what? Oh, it's not 2 for each dragon. It's
it's X plus 2.
I fucked that up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we should have just gone face. But I don't think we should be racing. Should we be racing? No. Well, I can do that. That's a thing. Okay. Maybe we just let this hit us and then just have 3 dragons next turn. Okay, that's good. I mean, they can literally put like 1, 2, 3. They could make this a 10-10, I think. 1, 2. They could make it. They could exile 4 things. They can make it a 9-9 right now. Or no, it would be a 10-10. It would be a 10-10, yeah. Re-eating this? I think we have to be able to block it with everything. All right, let's see. Let's see it, Jay. You know, we actually, if we get to untap, they're actually forced to attack here. Because if we untap and swing all with the Thundermaw alive, it's lethal. Because it would be 6 damage just for swinging, and then 14 in the area. It would actually be 20 damage with the 3 guys that we had. Not to mention we have 3 more for face. Yeah. Hey, there he is.
I'm back. I had a hard internet crash.
Oh no.
What happened? What did I miss?
We're gonna die.
Oh my god.
The Lion Sash eating us alive here, and then this card. If we would have got to untap with those dragons, we would have won, but we didn't get to untap.
Wow.
They had just a little too much. Good game. And they had a perfect top deck right there, too.
Yeah, perfect top deck.
To give trample for our blocker. All right, so dragons, maybe not. Who knows? That's what I was saying.
We'll try it. We'll throw it to the Black Council, and we'll say maybe I'll throw my video up there. Maybe we'll put a few more videos as a council exclusive, and we'll maybe put out a challenge to you guys. Can you build a dragon deck?
Sweet. Yeah,
and maybe
build a dragon deck and tell us how you do with it.
And I think probably Alchemy's stronger because you have Fire Whelp or whatever.
Oh yeah, you have the Whelp, and then you have the other. There's a like a smaller brood in Alchemy as well.
Yeah.
That
Drachma's Brood Lord or Brood.
Yeah, and it gives you that one can get Death Touch, and that's a 2-drop. Mm-hmm. So you kind of have like a really good blocker, and this and that. And then I think it like finds you a dragon or something. So that with the Whelp is really good, and then you still have the other Alchemy dragons that are very powerful. So yes, definitely something to keep an eye on for sure. If you play Alchemy, you're gonna have a better chance. If you play Historic, you already know that there's a super broken dragon combo. It's called like Dragon Storm, I think.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a turn 4 infinite thing. It doesn't really even. Well, it involves Terror of the Peaks, but it doesn't really even involve like dragons, like being dragons. It just involves like playing dragons for free, and then they deal damage with Terror of the Peaks. You know what I mean? It's not really like an actual. I don't know. Like it is a dragon deck, but it's like a one-trick pony.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know, stuff like that. But yeah, so
still fun.
That is
big part of the game.
Fun, yeah. It's fun. And Magic wouldn't be the same without dragons. I think we learned that today.
Obviously, we wouldn't have EDH.
Yeah, we literally wouldn't have formats without it. So I think that's noteworthy for sure.
Absolutely.
And I think that we learned that they're important. They're an essential part of this process, and of the story, of the ongoing longevity of Magic itself. Dragons are a very necessary part in all this. So I like it. I think dragons are great, and I always have a good time with dragons. Never going to complain about cool dragons being playable.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So that was dragons.
Hope you guys liked it, and
a little bit of touch of dragons
for you, and see if you want to take this deck for a spin. Let me just put it in the Discord right now before I forget. for the patrons. So we'll let the patrons see if they can make the deck be good.
Be good. Be good or be good at it.
Yeah, we're gonna see if we can like make this deck relevant here.
Yeah.
Export. So let me put it in our patrons only Discord that you can join for $1 a month. Since we did a dragon lore video today, we figured we should try to make a deck as well. We came up with this. Feel free to try it out because we got our asses kicked.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there we go. It is in a patrons only Discord. We got a best of one standard deck in there for you. You can't even complain that we made an alchemy deck and you don't have the cards that we did standard.
Yeah.
We did standard. You can't even be mad.
We did it.
That's why I wanted to do it. I wanted to make it so everybody could play it.
I'd like to do some more tribal builds in the future. I'd like to do some more lore tribal deeps. Maybe we'll do angels. Maybe we'll do goblins. We have knights.
Can't wait till angels are a thing again too. Well, I don't know. Yeah. They're kind of annoying, but
I like angels.
Angels are fun. I want what is it? Not Lyra Dawn. Well, Lyra Dawnbringer is fun, obviously, but Avacyn. I still want Avacyn to come back.
Oh no, she's unmade. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know.
Angel Mommy is unmade.
They'll figure it out. They'll figure out how to make her again. Oof. I don't know. Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
That's what I'd like to see, and then I'll really be hyped about angels again. I think the reason that we thought angels were annoying last time was because of like Righteous Valkyrie. It was just like it was too much.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It just made it too easy to be ridiculous.
That's another place I'd like to explore. Kaldheim's a cool place.
Yeah. I mean, it's been a while now, and
been a while.
We're approaching a year of post rotation, so maybe you go see what's up with Kaldheim. Give me some blood on the snow, Jay.
Oh yeah, blood on the snow from way back. All right, well, we're gonna call this meeting of the Black Council to a close. Hope you liked it. I had a good time. And what do you think about dragons? Leave your favorite dragon in the comments, and we'll get back to you.
Tell us your favorite legendary, non-legendary. Tell us if you like dragons at all. If you think they're not important to the plot, let us know.
Well, that's it, guys. I've been Jay Villainy. You've been great. As always, with me is my partner, Numbskull, co-host. And
take care, everybody.
I'll call this meeting, the Black Council, to a close. Good night, everyone.
Later, guys.
Bye-bye.